Welcome back everyone to another Brawlhalla Legend overview. As you can see from the Brawlhalla main menu now, for one, it's out of beta. It has its full release down here, canon update, Brawlhalla 3.0. Speaking of the update, the canon update, the new weapon is the Cannon. Just came after Scythe, and it is October 18th, 2017, where the first canon legend, Corsair, who is now known as SIDRA, has been released. And I'm going to read the lore of SIDRA to you. And then we're going to go into some gameplay. I'm going to show some strings, as well as some other values of damage and hitboxes and that sort of thing. So here's SIDRA. That's her animation. There's some like bubbles under her. She's sitting atop her cannon, just kind of shaking her foot, looking at her nails. Lore. The Corsair Queen. Release the Kraken. Seriously, SIDRA, let him go. You're hurting him. That was from Scythe. I need a second weapon? Okay. Give me a cannon. Yeah, a big one from a ship. You let me worry about that. SIDRA to Migley, Weapon Master of Brawlhalla. As the story goes, SIDRA and her monster crew ruled the seas of Thera from the ice flows of Urkrusk to the Atlantean Gate. The Corsair Queen was legendary for her fearless raids, masterful skill with a cutlass, and a tough but fair approach to plank walking. In a daring attack on Poseidon's undersea realm, SIDRA stole a great diamond, the Eye of Charybdis, from under the beak of its guardian, the Great Kraken. She lost the eye, along with the city and a ham sandwich, in a bar bed, but she remains cursed to forever be hunted by a vengeful and embarrassed Kraken. Ever resourceful, SIDRA channels the Kraken in relentless pursuit to punish her foes. She even allowed the Iron Admiral to capture her so she could laugh as the Kraken smashed his fleet to splinters in search of her. SIDRA arrived in Brawlhalla in the chaotic time before the Grand Tournament was created. She took one look around, commandeered a ship, recruited a crew, and resumed life as a pirate in her new home. This new terror of the Asgardian Sea was the last straw for Odin, and he created the Grand Tournament in an attempt to channel the warlike drive of the Valhallans. For now, SIDRA has been lured back to Valhalla by the wondrous prize of the tournament, specifically the gold, but her ship stands ready to sail in a secret cove. Taros was the first crew monster SIDRA recruited, and his loyalty to her is unshakable. Pretty interesting lore. There are a few connections. The major portion of her lore that is like, it sums up the way she plays is that she uses the Kraken to her advantage. She basically uses it as a part of her attacks. And here she is. So this is SIDRA's base animation. Like I said, this is her base skin, her base colors. Before she was called Cutlass. Or not Cutlass, before she was called Corsair. I don't know if she's a pirate or just a captain. But it kind of seems like she's more pirate. It kind of seems like she is a pirate because she is in search of just treasure, and she wanted to sail the seas of Valhalla. And because of Odin's fear of the wars on the seas, he created the tournament to sort of distract them from that. Anyways, I'm sure you all want to see gameplay and skins and stuff, so here goes nothing. This is the base skin. These are all the colors. I'll go through the last ones: Skyforged, black, white, red, pink, and gray. I would try to show you CCs. I've tried to restart the game 3 times, servers have not yet come up, and I can't get my CCs. These are your base weapons, and then the next skin is Atlantean SIDRA. Reminiscent of Atlantean Ada, it has a lot of the same aspects, a lot of the same like design, jewelry, hair, stuff like that. These are your base colors. Ooh, that looks pretty good. And then you have black and Skyforged. That's white. And those are her weapons. That's a pretty cool sword, in my opinion. And then you have Pirate Queen SIDRA, my favorite skin. Last recording that I made and posted, I said I was going to be getting a skin for SIDRA. If I were to get one, it would be this one. Servers aren't up, so I can't purchase one currently. And if I do get one, I might just wait for a chest to come out, so that way I can try to get a rare, or I don't know, like an exclusive SIDRA skin. But we'll see. These are the colors. I do think this one looks best. This is the one that looks best in black in comparison with all of our other current skins. And that's Skyforged. And those are the weapons. That is a nice sword. And then Kraken SIDRA. I think I said this was the last one. That was wrong. This is the last one. Quite a complex design, I would say, because of all like the tattered shirt and everything, and all the tentacles and stuff, and then everything on the cannon. So yeah, that's SIDRA and how she looks. That's her animation. She kind of just punches the Kraken, or kicks the Kraken down. And we're gonna play on whatever map against this Nyborg, and I'm gonna show you all of her moves, her lights, her aerials, her aerial heavies, her SIGs, you know, all of the usual stuff. So I'm gonna show damage, stun, and hitboxes. I'm gonna disable item spawning. I'm gonna set the damage reset on. And I'm gonna give myself a cannon. Usually I would try to give you guys, I'd try to keep you guys on the edge of your seat by keeping the exclusive weapon for the last thing, but I think it'd be more interesting to start off with it. So the cannon is the new weapon, as I've said multiple times, and it has new attacks, as per usual. This is its neutral light. She just turns it around, and then, she doesn't turn it around, I guess. She just whacks with it. Just quick jab. And when you land the hit, she jumps up and will then send a cannonball towards your enemy. And I'll do it one more time so that way I can show you the frame by frame. Okay. So, here's how it works. She pulls it off of her shoulder. It's back behind her, and then the hitbox starts as soon as it passes her. It drives into the enemy, lifting them up slightly but pushing them to the side mostly. And then there's several frames of no damage. She then will jump up and send out a bunch of hitboxes with the cannonball. I don't know if you can tell, but there actually is no cannonball, it's just a cannon blast. And then that pushes them back down. Probably good for edge guarding. I don't know if there's going to be any like use for it. I don't know if there's any active input. I'll have to test it. Oh, that was the side light. So the side light is just a quick swish up in the air. That's what happens when you hit. I don't really think I need to show that animation, frame by frame at least. And then the down light. She just smacks it. I also don't feel the need to show that. It does 13.21 damage and can be used as a combo starter. The aerial attacks include neutral light, similar to the blaster neutral air. And I will show that one. So she will jump up into the air, aim her cannon up, and then take the shot. Sorry if it's covered by the UI up here, but sends out a bunch of hitboxes, forcing them up into the air. So that's the neutral air. Then you have the side air. It's pretty much the land side air, just pushes them off to the side. And then you have the down air. That was down light. The down air, similar to the unarmed and Qatar down air, as well as the Qatar side air, and just like in the way since it's force. And I don't think I'm missing anything. That was neutral, side, down. I guess now it's time to show the heavy attacks in the air. So this is the ground pound. Pretty straightforward. I don't think I really need to show that one either. And then this is the recovery. I will show that one. So she just pulls the cannon behind her and then swings it forward. And as it passes in front of her body, she will have her hitboxes start. And then it ends off with these 3 hitboxes up here, just sending the enemy upwards and diagonally. So if I try to land some of these, there we go. Let me try to send this Nye up. I'll try to land some of those later. I've tested them before. There's not much difference with any of the aerial attacks upon hit. But now it's time for sword. Sword attacks, light attacks are all the same as per usual. So I'm not going to go through all of those. Of course you saw there that was the neutral sig. And in this animation for the neutral sig is quite cool. You might have seen it in the dev stream, but I'll show it off again. Anyways, so she looks down expecting the Kraken to attack her, and so she steps back, and the tentacle of the Kraken just shoots up into the air, and will pick up the enemy that's standing there or floating there, and then she will attack them after it hits. So I'll show that really quickly. It does a total of 21.8 damage, and if you charge it, she kind of taunts it, trying to get it to come up. And you can even hit people on these soft platforms. It does a total of 25.96 damage if charged. And on the down sig, the down sig is whatchamacallit? It's an anchor. So she just kind of swings into the air, and I'll show this one frame by frame as well. So, she pulls out the anchor from behind her, swings into the air with her sword, slashes the air, and then turns around and then just drops all of her weight on the anchor as she rides it coolly down. You can see there. Landing a hit with this is really fun, actually. This is probably one of my favorite sword moves. If you place it correctly, it's really easy in my opinion. My main issue is getting the hit with the sword. I just think the sword position is a little bit awkward. So that's the neutral sig and the down sig. And now it's time for the side sig. The side sig is similar to the neutral sig in which she pretty much just taunts the Kraken, and then she will jump over the tentacle as it like lunges towards her, and will swish downwards with her sword. So I'll show that here. Here she is just staring at it, and then once it attacks towards her, she does a little flip. The tentacle has its own hitbox, and then she slashes the tentacle down into the water. Pretty cool. So I'll hit deny with this. 24.36 damage without charge, and 29.5 damage with charge. So now I'm sure you want to see strings, probably with cannon, so I'll try to get into some of those. You might have seen earlier that I was doing a lot of side lights, which seems pretty promising. There's a dodge window of 11 when you do 2 side lights back to back. But if I do something like this, that was actually pretty cool. That was mostly improvised. So if you do a side light and then a down light, there's only a dodge window of 10. I'm sure you could get it lower. I'm sure you could probably do a down light into backdash side light. In fact, I'll try it. Yeah, you can. So if you want to read your opponent and they're in the proper positioning, you can do a down light and backdash and side light. So I'm just going to push her down there. If you do a side light, and then you could probably hit it with a neutral sig. But as I was showing earlier, side light, down light, when timed properly, you can get 6 dodge frames on that. 6 dodge frames isn't necessarily all that high anymore. You could also do something such as this, which I think that's got far too high of a damage window. That's neutral there, by the way. So, it's mostly about improvisation, as it was with Scythe. So, if you wanted to try something such as, I got it down to 5 dodge frames, that was pretty good. I'm gonna hit her off this way. Oh, that's right, you could try down light, neutral light. Nope. Side light, neutral light. Okay. I think most promising so far is probably side light, down light, into whatever follow-up that you really choose. You could probably do a... Let me send her back again. I should probably enable position reset. In fact, I'm going to do that now. So anyways, you could probably do a down light and do it... Ooh, okay. If they were to spot dodge after you do a side light, you can pretty much just do a down sig. Has a dodge window of 16, 15. I'm sure you could probably get it down to somewhere near 13. And then could also do... That could work in theory. Oh, how many dodge frames is that? Probably more than 30. I'm pretty sure it's more than 30 because it's obviously not true. But yeah. Well, I think the video's gone on for a bit too long, and I've shown the combos that I can with cannon. I would show some combos with sword, but most of them are just going to be the same, with the exception of trying to implement a few sigs here and there. But in general, I think that's going to do it. Thank you all for watching this episode, or this video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and leave a like. If there's anything you would like to see in future overviews, please leave a comment and tell me what you would like to hear or see in the video. And yeah, I guess I'll see you all later. Stay frosty.